Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it, especially my new viewers and new subscribers. Your kindness, your generosity, your support of my channel. It's truly been amazing. I'll never take that for granted. I'm a 58-year-old American who grew tired of the rat race and decided to move to the Philippines in search of a new life. Well, I found that new life, and I want to share with you my boots on the ground experiences. Only way I know how. By giving you the nitty-gritty. It's just exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing, and I'll never sugarcoat that. It's not going to start today. The subject of my vlog today is fear is the #1 reason more people don't visit the Philippines. You know, I always wondered that. I said, why don't more people visit the Philippines each year? Why hasn't it become this mecca for leisure that many people think it could be? And the reason is simple: this, the negative press and the fear that it causes. The news, the negative news, it distorts, your view of the country. Raise your hand if you're getting positive news in your Western country on the Philippines. More than likely, it's going to go something like this: typhoons, volcanoes, earthquakes. What else? Terrorist attacks, insurrections, even crime and poverty. It's all negative, man. And so you come away thinking negatively of the country. And then negative thinking, comes from fear, which fuels more negative thinking. It's just an ever-evolving circle, man. And you can't get away from it. The media exaggerates negative news. Let's be honest about it, okay? Let me give you an example. See, kidnappings almost always make the news over here. Yet road accidents, which kill far more people than kidnappings, very rare, rarely, if ever, make the news, especially over in your country. So you come away saying, oh, I'm never going to the Philippines because you fear of being kidnapped, when more likely you're going to get run over in the middle of the street over here. So instead of coming away with being better informed about the Philippines and its positive attributes, we come away, being afraid. And it happens time and time again. But it goes even deeper than that. Let me show you, okay? We get paranoid because of this negative news we get about the Philippines, about crime. So we worry about it when we come over here, even though it's dropping, it's falling, 45% during the pandemic, or bombings. All right, let me throw a figure out there, and I'll put this in my link. Over the last 12 years, 300 people have been killed, which is terrible in Mindanao. But in that same 12-year stretch, 144,000 Filipinos have lost their lives in road accidents. You see what I'm saying? A lot of men have become reluctant to come here because all they hear is the bad stuff about Filipinos over here. They're scammers. They only want your visa. They only want your money, etc., 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 the cultural differences, So they never hear the positive news about this place. Even news outside of the country will scare you from coming here. Plane crashes. So now people are afraid to fly. I used to think, oh, it's too far, but it's really not too far. If I told you, man, there's $10,000 waiting for you over here, you'd get on the first plane smoking, man. You would. But now, some of y'all are so afraid of flying that even if the Philippines was so close that all you had to do was take off, reach your altitude, and then land, you still wouldn't get on that plane. I've got a subscriber who told me, he said, Calvin, I haven't flown in 20 years. He said, I don't think I can ever get on a plane. He said, that's why I'm never going to come over here. See, so that, again, goes to answer the question of Sal, my buddy in Chicago. He always asking me, he said, Calvin, do you think when the Philippines opens up, it's going to be overrun by foreigners? Absolutely not. Because of some of the reasons I told you, but actually, the Philippines is very, very vast. Yeah, they're afraid to come here. A lot of people, especially men, they're bluffing online. They're never going to step foot in the Philippines. You know, why they do that, I don't know. You got to ask them. But I need to remind you that this place is vast. And at one time, the U.S. had two gigantic bases here. The Clark Air Force Base, it had about 15,000 permanent people. And then the Subic Naval Base, it only had like 4,500 permanent people, but at any given time, 30 ships were in port. I think what I was reading, the record was 47 ships in port. You know, the peak reached during the Vietnam War. Hell, over about 4.5 million people, sailors, came to Subic Bay, man, 1967, I believe. You know, there's no overrunning this place, man. You know, it's just too vast. So you look at them numbers compared to the numbers that have dwindled down. I'm talking about in these last few years, and you'll see why you don't have that to worry about. But yeah, fear and the negative press over here is what keeps most of us away from this place. You know, you never hear about, you know, I mean, it takes people like me, the little mom and pop vloggers, you know, to try to balance that megaphone that the major media, mainstream media is using with negativity over here. I compare it to, what's the loudest Bose speaker that they make, the biggest, most powerful. Compared to me, I'm like a Bluetooth speaker, man. You know, and although you're going to get through to some people are going to hear it and they're going to come over here. Majority are going to stay away. And that's the reason why, man, you get so few positive news. That's just the way our minds think. It's like a survival mechanism. You know, fight or flight, you know, that fear. And of course, you know, negative news and bad news sells. You know, I was reading somewhere it said, bad news happens quickly, good news happens over time. So, you know, the news cycle now is just like that. They don't have time to sit around and wait on something good to happen over here. So they're always going to report the bad news, man. So, yeah, all you guys is worrying about, oh, man, you know, I'm going to be bumping into foreign men over there. Isn't enough Filipinos over here for me? You know, am I going to be robbed? Am I going to be kidnapped? Man, you don't throw that stuff out the window, man. This place is safe. I've been here on and off for 12 years. Never had anything that even resembles trouble. I'm treated like a celebrity over here. It's Sir Calvin. That's what they call me over here. I mean, it takes some getting used to. But go ahead. Make your reservations to come here to this beautiful place, man, which I call a wonderland for me. Some people call it Disneyland, a Magic Kingdom. I call it a wonderland because it is, guys. So go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. But let me give you some good news before I get off of here. Tourism was reaching, just unbelievable peak. It was growing at like 11 or 12% stretch every year until the pandemic. So more and more people are not paying attention to the negative press, and they're listening to Filipinos that come to their country. People like me who are going to just tell you the nitty gritty, man. You know, hey, to both sides, the 360. And they're coming, man, and they're enjoying themselves, and they're coming back and back and back. I mean, the million Americans that came here in 2019, which is really the last year of full tourism, almost half of those visits were return visits. You know, so thank you so much for stopping by today. I just want to let you know that there's no reason to fear over here. You know, of course, they're going to put negative press about the Philippines. That's what sells. You know, they talk about the typhoons over here. Well, hell, I just get the remnants of the typhoon. We don't get typhoons here. There's flooding here, and I don't want to downplay that. But where I live here, there's no flooding. We get a lot of rain like we're getting today. But I want you to go ahead and make your reservations when the time comes. Get ready. Stack your money. Get your itinerary together. And come over and enjoy this place, man, this wonderland. So thank you so much for stopping by today. If you're in America, it's getting late. But before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. But if you're on one of them late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, you're just getting off second shift, or you're on your lunch break and you see somebody in the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a few dollars. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, really. I know in America things is almost back to normal, the new normal, because we don't want to go back to normal. That wasn't so good. We want it to be better. In the Philippines, it's about 7 a.m. in the morning. We have the whole rest of the day. You know, when you get up, make a decision you're going to intentionally go out and help somebody today. I do it every single day. It's not because I want a pat on the back, but somebody did it for me. And even though it's loosening up in America, we're still locked down over here. Borders are still closed. And people need our help. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. We help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID-free. I'll see you next time. If you want to, if you're still awake at 12 o'clock today on Wednesday, we always hold our electronic community pantry giveaway. And this is just something I come up with. Community pantries have become very, very popular in the Philippines. Started up in Luzon. It spread like a wildfire. We just put a spin on it here at Sunshine Shoulders. We called it the electronic community pantry. And what we do is we spin the wheel of our Filipino subscribers. And the winners, we usually give them a 25-kilo sack of rice or 1,100 pesos worth of groceries. We're going to spin the wheel twice today. We're going to help some people, man, because I tell you what, if we help each other, we can all make it out of the pandemic alive. So join me if you're still awake, or if you're in the Philippines, 12 noon today on my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook page. Thank you.